Hello everyone, my name is Chris. I'm the creative director for Sparrow, and in today's video we're going to go over website analytics. The reason why we decided to do this episode was because we were receiving a lot of emails requesting about where could our clients find their website analytics. So we thought it'd be a great idea, instead of just sending a bunch of emails and terminology that you may not understand, why not put together a quick video to go over the basics on where to locate your data and what does some of the data mean. So for this episode, we're using a website called Moroccan Sparrow. It is a client's website that we host and manage. I'm already logged into this website, so the same to what you have to do is just immediately log into the back end of your website. As soon as you get in, the next thing you need to do is click on the info button up here, and then you want to click on stats. Then you're going to see the quick view stats information. This is just usually give you a quick glance of your data based on a week visit. So we're going to click on the open stats button, and we're going to get the website to pull all of your website data. It does take some time because sometimes it could be a massive amount of data. And to what I'm going to do up here, this is what we call the calendar view. So this calendar view allows you to kind of like specify the date of when you want data to be pulled. So for this video, I'm actually going to start the beginning of February, because this is when this website went live, and I want us to work with bigger numbers just to give you an idea what to expect. So now that I put the calendar view to pull data from the beginning of February all the way until today, now we have numbers to work with. So the first thing I want to kind of go over are the top user engagement. What that really means is it's going to pull the two most common interactions that your website can have. And in this scenario, it's going to be e-commerce and form submission. So this is just showing us the amount of users that have made a purchase on this website, and the form submission is anytime a user is interacting with the website by submitting either a form through the contact us, or maybe it's a newsletter form that they're using. That's what these two numbers are pulling from. So we scroll down here, we're getting into the site visit information. And so the site information, we have two different types of views you can use. You can have visits and views. So the first one it's talking about page visits. And page visits is anytime a user reaches your website somewhere outside of your website domain. And what that really means is this information is based on how many times someone found your website without actually typing your www website's name. So this could be, maybe they clicked on a button from an article, maybe they were redirected from a social media platform, or maybe they clicked on a ad that you have running. This is the data. So all these visits has this information, and this is what it puts it together. The next view that you can do is page views. It's a little complicated, I know. Page view is anytime a user comes to your website directly. So this is just a helpful graph here. And directly really means if they put in the www address. So right here we have 1,500 people have visited this website directly by putting in the website's name fully. And if you're wondering what the colors are, the key factors are up here. So blue means desktop, the green means tablet, and the orange means mobile. So when you're doing a quick look over your data, you can see, okay, most of our visitors interact with our website via a desktop, then it's really mobile. The tablet is non-existent. So this is just a quick page view overview of all your data. It just helps you kind of give you your basic information. So let's move on to some more deeper levels of data that can be available. So the next one is called content data. For me personally, I think this page really gives you a good idea how exactly your website is operating and how people are interacting with your website. So one quick note, up here with the calendar view, once you set it once, no matter which section that you go to, your entire data is going to be set based on that range. So there's no need to constantly keep switching the calendar view for each page. Just once you set it, you can just forget it. So here you have the kind of like the page view again, same data that we saw in the overview. This is just being repositioned here. Now down here, this is where the money is. So this is breaks down your top 10 pages on your website. So you can see the page views, the unique visits, the average time someone spends, and the bounce rate. I'm going to go over each information here. So this page called shop, obviously this is the shop website. So this is saying out of all the people that have come to this website, about 1,700 people have visited our shop. And because it's under page view, just like our definition, this is someone getting to this website based on a link. So they didn't put in Moroccan Sparrow /store. They clicked on a link that already, made it easy for them to get to the store directly. Unique visits. Now, what this means is that every time someone visits your website, you may come across this term called cookies. Cookies are snippets of data, and part of that data is a unique ID number that a website assigns you. And this ID number really is based on where you are accessing your internet. So you maybe heard of your IP address, and your IP address is a very unique number based on the machine and the type of internet provider. So it kind of like spits out essentially in a social security number. So the unique page view tells us out of the 1,700 people that visit this website store, about 900 of them were actually brand new people that, they were not the same person over and over again. Over here, the average time that someone spent on the page. Now this is telling us how long does someone stay on this one page before they left. So the average time by spending on a page is about a minute. Now that's actually pretty good. So if you think about 60 seconds, this person is actually reviewing the content on this page. And the bounce rate, a bounce rate is basically the percentage of user on your website who navigates away from that one page. So if you want to, thinking in context, how this is basically when someone comes to your website, when they are coming to your website, instead of going to another page, they left. And so this is saying out of all the people, out of the 1,700, about 40% of them just leave. They got what they want. So that is actually pretty good. So there are some rule of thumb information to when it comes to bounce rate, and I just want to share that with you. So you want to have a bounce rate. A really good bounce rate is between 25 to 40%. So if you have 25 to 40% of a bounce rate, that's really good. You're really getting people, you're capturing people's attention on a page. The next tier we have is 41 to 55%. That is the average. So if you have that percentage rate, that means you are in the average range of people who are exiting your website. Anything above about 50, technically 56%, but I like to say 60% or higher, then there might be something that's maybe not super attractive to this website. So then we might want to reevaluate why people are navigating from the site. I just realized I want to just kind of go up here. So right before we get to the top 10, we have these numbers. The 7,200. This is the total amount of visitors based on the date range. So since the website has launched to today, there have been about 7,200 people. And out of that 7,200 people, about 4,500 of them were unique. And the average time based on everyone who's ever visited his website was about 2 minutes. And you still have a bounce rate within about 60%, which is, like I said, you're just starting to get away. Okay, maybe we need to figure out why people are kind of leaving, because we're now starting to kind of like get in a little too high of a bounce rate just on the overall site. So we this client may need to like reevaluate the content that is being distributed throughout the website. So here we go. So the shop is the main page. Now, for some weird reason, I don't know, but this is just how it is in the world of web design. Instead of having home, your website, the home page is defined as like kind of this blank. So this blank or this slash really means this is the home page. So not only, so basically our home page is the number 2, which really means that people are really running to the shop first. And if it's not the shop page, then people are navigating to the home page. That is our second best selling page, basically. And on the home page, we have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds as an average time, which is mind-boggling to think, because like you're really getting people to really sit here for 3 minutes on average and reading everything on this home page, which is really good. And then you can see with the bounce rate that we're at like 38% of a bounce rate. Really good. Like you're in the sweet spot when you're between 25 and 40%. So we're in the sweet spot here. The next page you can see is another product page. Then we have another product page. These pages, not too sure, but if we click on it, so let's see. So if you have a open window here, this allows us to kind of like click on this page and to see the website or what page directly. Sometimes this may not happen. If that doesn't happen, we will have to then copy and paste this URL link to find out exactly what page this page is, to see what people are being drawn out to. All right, so that's this page. Next we have the engagement page. Now engagement is just another fancy term, like how people are interacting with your website. So again, we pulled on this information. It's just a combination of site visits and views, and engagement kind of like just really means how many times people take a clickable action. So anytime someone is clicking around, that's basically what this number, the 2400 number, is coming from. You don't really have to worry about it too much, because just because someone is not really clicking around doesn't mean someone is not on that page interacting with it. Someone could just be reading. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on clicks or engagements, unless you are having a very specific strategy and it's based on click rates. All right, so the next section I want to do is called traffic source. Now traffic source is giving us the data on where people are coming from. So we can go here and we can see, out of all the people that are coming to this website, about 80% of them are putting the URL directly. Then the next is basically where they're coming from: Facebook, then Instagram. The My Site Modify, this is just either you as a client that is going into the back end of the website, or Brown Sparrow team member that is logging into the website. Then we have Google search engines. Internal basically means jumping around between different pages, and so on and so forth. So then you can just see the different types of links and how people are just coming in. We have Bing here. We have Linktree as a source of people like coming into this website. Then we have browser and iOS systems. Most people, you don't really need to know, really care about this too much, but if you are that type of power user, you can kind of like see what operating system that they're coming from and what web browser they're using, they're coming from. So you can see there's Chrome, mobile Safari, Apple WebKit. What that really means is just the Safari button as well. And then you have operating system, iOS devices, Linux. Anytime you see others or unknown, there is some type of privacy restriction or security system put into place, and because of that, the website is not able to really break down, get all that information. And anytime you see an unknown information, that's really where that's coming from. There is some type of privacy or security plug in play with that user, and so that information, the detailed information, is not being captured, but the website still senses that someone is still on the website, so it just puts them into the other or the unknown category. Another big tab that I think is really important is your geography tab. So this will break down, so you have the map, and this map shows you everybody with like where you're getting the most visitors from. The darker the black, the more traffic you're getting from that country. So we can see here, like United States, obviously that's where we're getting the most kind of like people from. Then we can see that, okay, we're getting parts of Asia. Then we're getting, Morocco as well, country in South America, Guyana, and so on and so forth. So if you go down here, we can see the breakdowns here. So United States, unknown, again, like I said, mentioned before, unknown is just privacy locks, so, or security block. So it's not able to get us that detailed information, but it just tells you, okay, at least that we're getting about 440 visitors that have come to the site, but we're not sure exactly where they're coming from. Then you can see Canada, Morocco, Ireland, India, United Kingdom, and so on and so forth. Now, what we really love about what our site can do and is that it can actually give you detailed information exactly where people are coming from, not only just as a whole as like what continent or what country, but we can get a little bit more granular data about it. So let's click on the United States. So now I clicked on the United States, and now we are in a layer view in the United States. So here, now we get to say, well, exactly where we're getting the most visitors from. So now we can see, oh my gosh, a bunch of people in Connecticut are really liking this website. And so that information for you, you can say, okay, I need to find out why there are many people in Connecticut, sorry about that. And maybe we can do more marketing information or marketing strategies based on people who live in Connecticut, because you're getting people from Connecticut automatically, right? Then we have Virginia and New York, California, Texas, and Delaware, right? But we can still get more information. So I'm going to click on a darker map. So I'm going to click on Virginia. And this is another layer that we can get. Now, once you get down to this layer, it may get a little difficult for the map to populate, but it will still do its best to try to give you that, I call it on the ground numbers. So we can see here that it's breaking it down based on the cities of where these individuals are coming from. So in Virginia, there's this particular city here in Ashburn here that, okay, not only that we're getting people for Virginia, but people from Ashburn. So maybe this company needs to do some research and find out why there are a lot of people from Ashburn. Maybe there is a American Moroccan large, population group in Ashburn here. So maybe they can do more marketing towards that group of individuals here. All right, and then the last page I want to show is called Insights. So Insight basically means any pop-up that is on the website, and we're tracking that interaction. So if I remember right, this client had when they launched, they had a free shipping pop-up. So this data is just showing like how many times people interacted with that pop-up window who by clicking on it or probably even signing up. Their pop-up didn't last that long. I think so like it says here, when they launched in February, and they were advertising that free pop-up until March. So somewhere between February and March, they might have removed that pop-up, or they started to slowly phase that pop-up out. Notification bar. A notification bar would typically mean, so we don't have it up here, but typically it kind of means like there would be like a notification that would just pop up right up here, not like the standard standard newsletter that would cover the whole entire web page. This is kind of like a more discrete bar that would slide up here, similar to this black bar here, but this one is not a notification bar because it always is here. But under a notification bar, that bar would be replaced with this, and it only would pop up when someone is interacting with it. And this is just another called pop-up. Now, when we are designing pop-ups for clients, we typically try to give them each individual name. So we know this is the free pop-up, free shipping pop-up. And this was just a general pop-up that was probably maybe an announcement or something like that we had to do for that client. So if you're a client of us and you want to just keep adding pop-ups and we can create names for those different types of pop-ups to kind of see the interactions with that. So yeah, that is basically it in a nutshell. This is where you get all your data. I invite you to kind of click around, explore, If you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to us, and stay tuned for our next video.